I'll tell you. Hey, we're live on Facebook. Welcome to the virtual comedy show, everybody. It's the big thing on my screen saying that we are being live streamed, so I'm hitting got it. Welcome our new friend Tina Russo to the show in the audience, and we are going to sing her a happy birthday song because today is her 27th birthday. This is the song that got me fired from TGI Fridays. You know how they make you sing happy birthday every time you tell them? And I got sick of that song, so I made up my own. We celebrate your birthday, even if you don't. We're glad you're getting older, because when you're dead, you won't. Hey! It's funnier in rehearsal. That's not the part that got me fired. Here's the part that got me fired. So happy birthday from everyone you know. Now we will light the candles and birthday girl you blow. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Hey, and welcome to the virtual comedy show, everybody. By the way, happy birthday. And also, it is the end of an era. In 3 days, I head out to sea for 3 weeks after 18 months of doing this show. I have very mixed feelings. I love doing this show and seeing all of you every week, but I also like to eat. Choices. Let's start.
Oh, that's right. I have to do something now. That's right.
Yeah, you do. You have a job.
In a cabin going crazy cause a flu that's worse than swine swept the planet, so damn it, here we are in quarantine.
Hello, and welcome to Virtual Comedy Show. Here are some etiquette guidelines for Virtual Comedy Show. Please arrive 15 minutes early. Please be quiet, except for laughing. We've been a Zoom meeting civilization for more than a year. Come on, you know the drill. Just be polite. We would like to see your face as part of the audience. Let's be social, not just distant. So get comfortable, plan to laugh, but not heckle, and let's make our semi-quarantined world a bit more normal for a little while. Thanks, and enjoy the Virtual Comedy Show.
Hey, everyone! It's time for the Virtual Comedy Show, starring Brad Tassell and Steve Goodie. Tonight, Brad and Steve welcome their very special guest,
Al Ernst, we hope.
Live from their respective vaccinated homes. And now, please welcome Brad Tassell.
There he is.
Hey, everybody. Let me change my screen so I can see your lovely faces. Hello. It's nice to see everybody, Elena and Kevin and Liz and Alice, and of course now Tina and Mr. Goodie and others. It's great to see you, and it's good to know that after a year and a quarter, this show has gotten no more professional.
We know what people expect.
We have dialed down the professionalism on this show, and I think that is fantastic. And the other good part is the jokes have also gotten no better. So, by the way, Tina, it's your first time here. We're going to do some jokes, and then we're going to go on with the show. And welcome everybody. I'm having a little ennui, a little melancholy. That 3 weeks will go by without being live on this show. I'll try to send some stuff. It'll probably get better because of it. So, okay, are we all ready? Here we go. I wrote some jokes. It took all day, and I'm not proud of them. Here we go. Joke number one, and a lot of sad jokes this week. Number one, Rolling Stones drummer Charlie Watts died at the age of 157. Did y'all see that, of course?
Yeah.
Keith Richards said that he and Mick were not the Stones. But Charlie was the...
All the noise. I think that's Al.
What is that noise? Who is that?
Al.
Mute Al.
I'll turn you back on in a while, Al.
I don't know what Al's playing with something. I'm going to start that joke over.
Okay.
Rolling Stones drummer Charlie Watts died at the age of 157. Keith Richards said that he and Mick were not the Stones, but Charlie was the heartbeat of the band. Isn't that beautiful? He also said that he is the osteoporosis. Ron Wood is the kidney stones, and Mick is the vagina.
Oh, man. And with that, you're off to sea.
I'm off to sea. Mick Jagger is the vagina of the Stones, everybody. And I believe that Keith Richards would agree with that joke. Kanye West, have we heard this? Kanye West changed his name to Ye. Did you just see that, Steve? I'm looking at you.
Not.
He changed his name legally to Ye. I guess Ick was taken. Kanye has a new album out. where the listener can spend $200 more and get a device that separates out any of the tracks the listeners don't want to listen to. Now, with huge artists like Jay-Z and Cardi B on the record, fans can get exactly what they want and cut the crappy sound of Kanye.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah, because his voice is horrible. I've heard some of his songs, and everything's good, but listening to him stinking talk or sing. So, like DJ Khaled. You ever see a DJ Khaled album? There's all this music, and then him going, DJ Khaled! You're like, if you take that out, we'd have music. Okay, here we go. There's more. Boy, I'm really low energy this week, and I apologize.
Great, man.
I know, it's the drugs. See, now, is this how you say this? Ivermectin, that drug? Ivermectin.
Yes, but you're supposed to say it with reverb.
Ivermectin.
Ivermectin. Ivermectin is a drug for livestock and sometimes humans to kill parasitic worms. So it makes sense that anti-vaxxers are using it to treat COVID since parasitic worm was Trump's presidential code name.
Oh, man. I think that's your best joke I've ever heard.
I think that is too. The side effects from taking ivermectin, Steve, ivermectin.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Ivermectin.
Are vomiting, abdominal pain, and severe hepatitis. So it further makes sense taking it is preferable to the chance of a light fever from the vaccine.
Parasitic worms.
That was Trump's code name.
Yeah.
Anyway, now a joke that'll make everyone mad. Vice President Kamala Harris is continuing her trip to Vietnam despite suffering from what is called Havana syndrome. Who's heard of that? Mr. Goodie, ever heard of Havana syndrome? Yeah. It is a mysterious illness that causes, among other things, dizziness and memory lapses. When the Vietnamese delegation heard this, they said, "Oh, we didn't know the president was coming."
Dizziness. Memory lapses.
Anchors away. Anchors away, baby.
I get my money's worth out of this reverb unit.
I spent thousands on just that reverb unit, friends.
It's true.
By the way, Trump was booed at his Alabama rally when he suggested his followers might want to get the vaccine.
Mm-hmm. Saw that.
Yes. So Trump has miscalculated his dumb days cult addiction to idiocy. Luckily, a quick-thinking staffer calmed the crowd when they grabbed the mic and said, "He meant the gay vaccine."
You're on
Because
fire,
that's what
buddy.
he meant.
Damn.
I'm on fire. Oops, that one hit me in the face. Hey, you think that one was hilarious? Wait till you hear this one. It's a good day to think about not eating meat. By the way, anybody else at least pescatarian or vegetarian? Anybody?
I'm in that neighborhood.
When's the last time you had a chicken?
I have chicken sometimes, but not very often do I have a parasitic worm.
You are a parasitic worm. Okay, you're trying. I've had a parasitic worm, and it's not fun. So, but this is in the same vein. It's a good day to think about not eating meat. 17 states are having a salmonella outbreak attributed to salami, prosciutto, and pepperoni. Yeah. Consumption is causing many to suffer from charcuteria.
Oh.
That sounds bad.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, it comes out on a board.
Oh.
Okay.
That was terrible.
Oh, man. If you guys are grossed out by that, you don't want to hear my top 10 list.
Uh-oh.
Yes, we do. And the CDC is recommending heating the Italian meats to 165 degrees and setting your bidet to stun.
That's good.
If you've got a bidet, that is good. I know. It's downhill from here. Okay. Now, I don't think we have a lot of sports people that come to this show or watch it, but ESPN has removed Rachel Nichols from her NBA coverage job and canceled her sports show, The Jump, for suggesting fellow broadcaster Maria Taylor got a job on NBA Countdown because she is black. Nichols said ESPN must be feeling pressure about their longtime crappy record on diversity to hire Taylor, but they won't do it by taking my thing away. ESPN then took Nichols' thing away. She no longer has a thing. But it wasn't because they gave another girl a job. It's because she was a racist. Okay. Hey, this is the saddest news of all. A Chinese government-backed group of hackers called Hafnium have hacked the complete personal information of every American in the United States. They have taken every bit of information, Social Security numbers, addresses, everything from us, every American, in hopes of creating an artificial intelligence software so complex you can't help but extend your vehicle's warranty. Actually, it's incredibly more dangerous than that, but I couldn't think of anything. I just hit myself in the head again. Okay, only 4 more, and then the show's over. I'm just going to cut the cord. The January 6th Commission is asking telecommunications companies to preserve phone records of some members of the House and Senate. Think anybody's worried about that? Many GOP congressmen and women are said to be stocking up on Depends. Because they're going to poop themselves.
Someone snorted.
I know. Hey, wow, I just wrote this joke 5 minutes before the show, so don't expect much, but here it is. I just heard about this. Has anybody heard of this? Kristen Stewart will play Princess Diana in a biopic called Spencer. The trailer is just out, which follows the 3 days where the tragic princess wrestled with the decision to divorce Prince Charles. What made the decision difficult was her 2 sons, of course. And what made it easy was Prince Charles's inbreeded face.
Hey, do the ears. Go do the ears.
Yeah, gotta do the ears. This next one I worked on for an hour, and I'm not happy. So here you go. Let me just tell you right up front. Well, it's hard to do a joke on this because it just happened today, and it's horrible. President Biden just announced, "We will hunt you down and make you pay," in response to the attacks at the Kabul airport by the Islamic State. I know, it's horrible. Oddly, those are the same words the states have used to describe the over $10 million Trump owes them from his rallies. See?
Yeah. Do the ears. Do the ears.
I know, do the ears. I just wanted to say something about the fact that Trump owes over $10 million to about 20 states that he has not paid from his rallies. So, okay, and here it is, the last joke and my favorite. And then we're going to you, Steve, for your top 10 list that will make us all thrilled and happy.
All righty.
It is a rough day. It is a rough day for one of the 6 dummies who plotted to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer over her efforts to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Ty Gargan is the first charged, and he got 6 years in prison, where he will suddenly be more worried about stopping the spread of his butt cheeks.
Ooh.
Could have done without the tongue.
Yeah.
I know. I just noticed I had about 5 jokes that had to do with poop this week. I have no idea. It was like a poop theme or something this week. I have no idea.
That's fantastic.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all watching. I hope you're excited. I'm doing it right now. I'm replacing it with Steve Goodie. Let's hear it, everybody. Yay!
Hi, everybody.
Yay.
Let's hear it for our parasitic worm friend.
Parasitic worm.
That was great. Well, it's time for my weekly top 10 list. If you've been watching this show regularly, and some of you have, and we can't really understand that, I do a top 10 list every week. Kind of a callback to the days of Letterman when he would do a top 10 list, which you could enjoy. And that stopped in 2015. And then we all went into quarantine and Fallon and Colbert were doing their shows from their garages in their underwear. So to try to bring a little class back, we're doing a top 10 list. And some of them have been topical, torn from the news, and I got tired of that. So they've just been silly for the past few weeks. And now it's going to be silly and a little gross. So here we go. Our category tonight, top 10 kinds of cake. Top 10 rejected kinds of cake. Rejected, that's an important word in the category. It's the top 10 rejected kinds of cake. And you might be thinking, how can that get gross? Well, let's find out. Number 10, patty cake. I wish Patti was here for that. Number 9, Tasmanian devil's food cake. Very unpopular because it doesn't sit still. Number 8, bricklayer cake. Get layer cake, brick? A cake that a stripper is supposed to jump out of, but instead you get a sweaty, stinky bricklayer.
Okay, great.
Now, okay.
Oh.
Okay, if that grossed you out, give up on the rest. Number 7, Adam's apple upside down cake. As opposed to pineapple. Some of these you might have. Number 6, sheet cake. It's cake that tastes like sheet.
Oh.
Yes. You didn't have to say that part.
Okay, now buckle your seatbelts. This is not going to be pretty. Number 5, urinal cake.
Oh.
No, I know. Number 4, bed pancakes.
Is that a thing?
It is now. Number 3 is the worst. If you can get through number 3, we're going to be okay. Number 3, after birthday cake.
Oh,
I
man.
know.
Oh, that's terrible.
You're all missing me now.
I know.
Oh.
Number 2, bed wedding cake. You kind of have to say this one out loud.
Oh.
And the number 1 rejected kind of cake,
Oh my God.
contraceptive sponge cake.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And now,
What?
wait, something is special.
What have we done this week? What have
Getting
we
gross
done?
this
Oh, what are you doing?
I'm
Wait,
flipping
you're-
myself
what?
upside down. You might be wondering why. I'll tell you
Why?
Are you showing the Adam's apple?
Because
Makes
Brad's
no
right
sense.
side up, I'm upside down, and this is all. Whoop, hold on. I got to do it so you can see the screen. In celebration of this show, which happens to be our 69th show.
Oh, man. Oh.
Hey!
You know, Steve, you and I are friends, but I don't think we're that close.
Hey, if I go to prison for 6 years, we'll talk.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm just so pleased my dad was here for that.
Oh my God. No wonder Valerie's boycotting us tonight.
Hey, we only get to do that once.
She had a premonition.
Yeah, well, hold on a second. I'm going to add Al to us too. Hey, Al, you
Al.
stayed for this.
Wow.
It's Al Ernst, everybody. How you doing, Al?
Wow.
I'm here this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to pull us out, and you're going to tell. By the way, Al, Steve, pull yourself out real quick.
I'm going to do that right now.
Thank you, Steve. So, Al, first of all, I'm going back to the carnival this on Sunday. You said you're going to take some time and not go back to ships.
Yep, that is absolutely correct, sir. I am still up here in Maine. I have another week of residency working at the resort up here.
Oh, cool.
But I mean, even after this, you're just planning on not going back for a while.
Yeah, I've done it for 28 years and up till the pandemic, and it's just kind of time to see what else is out there.
Yeah, well, you're an amazing guy, so you're not going to have any trouble. But okay, well, I'm going to leave. Steve's going to take me out, and you're going to tell us about the hurricane and whatever else you'd like to talk about, and we'll be with you, okay?
All right.
Pull me out, Steve. Al Ernst.
Hey, guys. Everybody good? I'm hello. Hey, everybody. I am here at my palatial villa at Lake Sebago Resort in Maine, getting ready to do my late show this evening. And you're probably wondering, since I was supposed to be a guest last week from Cancun, where was Al? Why did he just go away? Well, it has to go back to uh,
Oh no.
Brad asked me about ships
Oh, well,
in
looks like Al's
Mexico.
going away again.
Am I here? Can you
You're
hear me?
back.
Or no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, last week I was at the Barcelo Resort in Cancun, Mexico, and they have a thing called Star Voyagers, which is a cruise ship on land, and they do all of the same activities that you do on cruise ships, except you do it at the resort, including hurricanes. So, but let me divert back a couple of days prior to that, because to get into Mexico, you have to have a 48-hour COVID test, and I had to go make my appointment to go get my COVID test, and little did I realize I was going to be in the middle of a child reporting a parent. What do you want to say? Reporting to authorities, a parent who basically almost, impaled her child with her umbrella on Sunday.
My goodness.
So you.
Come on, Al, you can do it.
Where I was, but no, it is raining. It's pouring down rain, and there is a line that is about 2 hours long to get your COVID test. And from there, it got worse. I was in front of a lady who had 2 children, both of which were devil spawned children that were unbelievable, because they decided that this is a two level COVID testing area, of which they had to get the testing lab. They had to put a orange cord, one of the big thick electric cords, and they had to run it outside the window. And one of the children said, "I want to climb that cord."
Oh my
And she ran over there and started climbing the electric cord, which pulled the androgen testing center all the way to the window, of which the parent took her umbrella, folded it up, made it into a javelin, and threw the umbrella straight and impaled the child on the electric cord.
Oh my God.
So yes, the child did not make it up there, nor did she really get heavily injured, but enough that this lady, and I would want her on my darts team. Let's put it that way. All right. I mean, she was able to get a moving target and pull that and get that child down off the cord with her umbrella, and drop more F-bombs than any kind of comedy show that you could ever think of on a Sunday morning right after church. So they get the little girl off of the cords. However, the people then come down and announce their testing computer is down. I wonder why.
My goodness.
So now we're all trying to decide whether we're going to kill the mother or the child in the pouring rain to get our COVID test. Order does get restored before the police arrive, and get in there, get the COVID test, think everything's okay. Get to Cancun. Everything is great. It's just like the old days, except everybody wears masks and PPEs, and it is not a good situation to have a fat man in a mask for that many hours. I can just explain that to you in that way, especially once you get to Cancun and you're supposed to meet some guy named Juan. how many wands are there?
More
More
than
than
one.
one.
Yeah. I said, I'm looking for one, and everybody ran up to me. So I get checked into the resort just in time for them to announce a lockdown because of Hurricane Grace. And Hurricane Grace graced us as a Category 2 direct hit hurricane. We had this has got, I would call it a moderately upper level all-inclusive resort. They made the announcement that the restaurants would all be serving buffet style for 2 hours, but would close, and you had to go back to your rooms, and you would have thought that the Hunger Games had just begun because these people start running in. They have tongs in their hands, tongs and plates, and they're loading up like we're never going to eat again. I mean, there were thin people that were balancing more plates than I could have ever done as a fat guy on a buffet in my entire life. So everybody gets their food. I wait. I don't get in the middle of it. You'd think I would just be bullying my way through. Oh no, I wait. I look before you start being in a sweat box. So when they come to check on me at the very end, I've got it so cold in my room, my breath is showing. I'm like Mr. Freeze. I'm in a meat locker. My banana that I was able to get from the buffet is frozen. And it's not even in a refrigerator. I lock down. We go through the night. We get through the next morning. Finally, they sound whatever horn. Now you got to understand something. They're like Apple on their tools for their hurricane shutters. They only have one special tool that will open your hurricane shutters because they're afraid that the guests will open the hurricane shutters on their own. So you're literally locked in. I mean, just completely locked in. And so finally the hurricane passes. We get through. I'm able to peek outside like a prisoner through Shawshank. And I see the place has been absolutely ravaged. I mean, we're talking tree branches, wires, roofing tiles, everything that you can imagine, just all over the place. And I'm thinking to myself, man, this is going to be a tough one. Well, not to sound racist at all, but we do know that Mexicans are industrious and they do seem to reproduce in great numbers, because 900 Mexicans showed up on this property with chainsaws, tools, you name it. And within 2 hours, that resort was back up and you would have never known a storm had hit.
Wow.
Oh,
I mean, it was unbelievable how quickly, these people recovered. I mean, you're hearing pounding of tiles on the roof. You're seeing trees being cut down and moved. And we got the all clear at noon. By 2 p.m., you would have never even known that there was a storm that hit this resort.
wow.
I mean, it was just unbelievable. So we get through. So obviously by this time the internet does get restored, but I'm in this situation where now I'm doing new shows. I don't know what the time is, and I completely forget about this great show that I'm supposed to be on last week. And apparently when I am on stage, when you guys are desperately trying to call me and figure out where I am, I don't remember it till afterwards. So my total apologies for that. I end up spending the next 2 days going through and what they had over 200 people that signed up for this cruise on land basically show that included all your little extras, including a free hurricane. You got a free hurricane along with it, and that wasn't the drink. So you have to leave Mexico. Well, once you leave Mexico, you have to have another COVID test. and that COVID test, they have a COVID lab on property. So I'm figuring this is there was nobody that, there to, it was empty. I literally walked in, and the technician that swabs you was sound asleep on the chair, snoring. So
Was it siesta time?
it was siesta. I had to wake him. I had to wake him up out of a dead sleep, and he's like apologizing in Spanish, and I'm like, I don't care. Just give me the swab. Let's get this thing done. Well, if I had COVID, no one would have ever known it, because this man, I mean, the only results that came up, I'm sure, on that test was his fingerprints, because I mean, we didn't even hit we barely hit the nostrils. Wow. So I'm going, so obviously I'm negative. I figure, all right, good. I've done this. I'm getting out. I'm moving. I'm grooving. Everything's good. I get to the airport, and come to find out, the government has imposed 3 new affidavits that you have to even get through security. Now, mind you, I'm 2.5 hours early for my flight. By the time I've translated these documents, done this with my phone, gotten the proper QR code, I am the last person on the plane as they shut the door.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to get back to the United States. So it was the not too much funny about it, but the adventure of a lifetime, because once I got back to the U.S., I went, oh, this is going to be easy. I'm in global entry, which is especially Brad, those of us that travel internationally, So I go up to the global entry machine, and I find in Atlanta, that you normally stick your passport in and put your fingerprints down. All that stuff is taped off completely with no instructions. I'm like, what's going on? The lady says, look at the screen, take your picture. I haven't shown a passport. I haven't shown a boarding pass. They don't know where I'm coming from. Nothing. Well, suddenly the born identity starts, because this picture starts running red lines all through me on my picture, and spits out every piece of information apparently that has been hacked by the Chinese or whoever took all of our data. And I mean everything now to get through into the United States, if you're in global entry, is done by facial recognition.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
And that's it. You get the piece of paper, the guy looks at it, you don't even put your passport down. He goes, you have anything to declare? No, welcome to the United States. That's it.
Goodness. Wow.
I know. It was the most unbelievable thing I had ever been through, as far as what technology has done. I mean, it spit out what flight I was on, what my name was, home address, picture, everything, by just me standing in front of the machine and pressing the button to take my picture. So
that's what happens when you get vaccinated.
Good thing you don't have an evil twin.
Yeah, I mean, the greatest part of it, and that's what I'm thinking. They said, "Oh, Bill Gates is in your arm." When you get, I'm going, I hope Bill Gates is in my arm, because that gets me to Microsoft tech support a lot quicker. All right, because I can just touch the arm, go, okay, Bill, listen, I'm having trouble with Outlook. Can you help me out here? And this was my time to turn around, have one day at home, and then begin my 3-week residency up here in Lake Sebago in Maine, of course, of which another Hurricane Henri, was heading straight to Portland, Maine, where I was flying to that next day. So luckily that fizzled out completely. They got nothing up here, and I am now tucked away in my villa. And I can only tell you, folks, everybody knows everything about you. I don't care what vaccine you get or you don't get. the bottom line is that is the world we live in. You might as well just live in plain sight. So last night, I do my show. I'm shaking hands after the show. A woman about my age comes up to me and goes, "Do you remember me? I'm Janet." and I'm just, she gives me no other data other than that. And, so I'm thinking facial recognition. Yeah. I'm trying to make red lines go through her face, and then she goes, I knew you, and I'm thinking the 90s were a wild time, IRS, whatever, and she goes, "Now I knew you wouldn't YMCA camp 1975." And this woman in Sebago, Maine, was the first girl I ever kissed when I was 12 years old.
Wow.
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 Whoa.
Yep. And here's the great part about it. It was a sweet little story, totally random. I don't know. She told me the story of how she ended up moving up here from North Carolina. But anyways, long story short, she goes, "Al, I want to introduce you to my wife, Cheryl." Not that there's anything wrong with that, but as a insecure guy in the first place, it does hit the self-esteem just a little bit right there when because she goes on to say, "Al, once I kissed you, I realized I was going to be batting for the other team." So
at 12.
Yeah. And so I wish I had all kinds of great jokes to give you tonight, but I just thought I would share this adventurous story between what happened to me last week to where I am this week. And who knows, as I leave to go to my show tonight, who I'm going to meet tonight, who will reappear this evening. And if some dude comes up to me and goes, "Do you remember me? I'm Freddie," I'm going, "No, this is the wrong guy." No.
Al, hey, Al.
Hey, Al.
Al Ernst, everybody. Hey,
I have a question.
You know what? Al, oh, you first, Steve. Go ahead.
Question. I think it's the one that's on everybody's mind. Did your banana ever thaw?
Oh, my banana thawed. I took like I told you, I took the scraps after the Hunger Games were over and the people fought over tongs down there. I took the scraps. I had plenty of food and water.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I meant after you met Janet.
Yeah. And then I come to Maine and meet Janet and her wife, and they're staying on property, and we're all having dinner tomorrow night.
All right.
So, Al, you should look at that as a compliment. It is just the opposite. You were the only man worth kissing.
Yeah.
So she said, "I'm going to try this guy." And she was like, "Okay, but I am so gay that even this hunk of a man can't turn me." That's how you have to look at it.
Well, I thank you for turning my whole attitude. That turns my entire attitude around tonight. That's the reason I'll miss you initially working on shifts. Not to say that I'll never go back, but I am having a great time trying to find out these new adventures and all these other crazy things out there, and we'll be checking in with you along the way.
Well, that is fantastic. Thank you so much. Al Ernst, everybody. Clap for him.
Hey.
Steve, pull Al out. Hi. So that was amazing. And Al, I only know that because I've turned about 6 women. So it's that's and they all told me that story. They said, "You know what? You're the only guy I would ever kiss because you're pretty girly." So which is fine. You know what? Everybody needs love. So great. Well, that was so sweet. And man, how scary to be. I've been in a few near hurricanes, but never been hit directly by any. Has anybody been in a true hurricane?
No, sir.
No, I can't
We
believe
don't-
it.
we don't
So
get hurricanes in Missouri.
that's true. Yeah, I don't know. Your governor's kind of a hurricane. So I know. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was. It's always joyous to see Al. He is one of my favorite people on the planet Earth, and no matter what he talks about, it makes me so happy. So, speaking of other people that make me happy, somebody who just went to a show. Patti Vasquez, everybody, just went and saw Steve Goodie, didn't you?
I did. I met Steve. Guys, I met Steve Goodie in person.
Really? Can you introduce me?
Woo! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Goodie.
Thanks, Patti. All right, I'm going away now.
So, I'm going away too, Patti. I'm going to go away myself. So I'm going to remove me, and you're going to talk.
Hi, everybody. I was so nervous. I did a favor for somebody, which took me way far away from where I live, way far away from my basement with my green screen. And as much as I enjoy doing this from my car, I was also like, I kind of want to head towards home. So while Al was talking, I'm like, well, I'll just start driving. And when it's my turn, I'll just pull over. Only there was construction. And so I am pulled over like Al finished just in time for me to be on the shoulder of the road on 294. This is insane. Okay, hi. Yes, I met Steve Goodie over the weekend, and he was so good. We were so impressed. So if you get a chance, you gotta go see him live. It was lovely to meet you. And also, Steve wrote a theme song for my new show. So thank you so much for that, Steve. It sounds great. Thank you. So I don't know if you folks are aware of this in Chicago, because I'm sure we covered a lot of the FDA approval of the vaccination, which, by the way, now there are folks who are like, well, why was it so fast? Why was it rushed? And the FDA is a political hack organization. And, well, if it's not emergency use anymore, then I guess it's no emergency, and we don't need to wear masks. Wait a minute. What? So there's something in Chicago that's happening where the park districts made a deal with Amazon to allow them to put these massive lockers in the middle of our playgrounds and parkways and sidewalks for about $50 a month. That's all Amazon is paying the park districts. We have empty storefronts that Amazon, by the way, put out of business. They made those empty storefronts. Am I yelling too much? I feel like I'm yelling a lot.
You're good.
You're melting.
But I'm really
You're fine.
And people are losing their mind in Chicago about these lockers, which they should, because no one told us about them. Even the alder people didn't know this was coming. Only at the same time, there are also allegations of sexual abuse, harassment, and assault amongst the lifeguards in the park districts. But everyone's like, oh, yeah, I could see that. Anyway, these lockers are terrible, right? Anyway, terrible.
Wow.
Are we just so oversaturated with the Me Too where people are like, yeah, I guess that happens? Or, well, boys, it's basically like a boys will be boys. You know what? How about boys keep their hands to themselves? And this isn't just boys will be boys. These are supervisors that are taking advantage, and not just taking advantage. Like, there's some really horrible stories, but everyone's like, yeah, but they're lifeguards. They're running around in bathing suits. It's like they asked for it. No, they didn't.
No.
It is absolutely infuriating that we are still, after all this time, people are still thinking, well, you know, why did she wait so long? Why didn't she tell us sooner? Oh, you know what? I'll tell you. Do something about it. Be better. Also move the lockers. By the way, look at how bad. Oh, you can't see it. I have that. Did I do this thing with my? Is everyone doing the
You're
blurring
blurring. Yeah,
now?
you're blurred your background.
Yeah, it's
I
cool.
didn't. Is it really? All right, then. Hi, everybody. And my hair looks better this way too.
You are not blurred.
Looking good.
I also want to say I have also never been in a hurricane, but I think we've all been in a situation where there's a tornado warning and they start giving you the counties, but you're on the road. I don't know what county I'm in right now.
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing I've ever heard for a tornado warning is if you cannot seek shelter. Have you ever heard this one? Lie flat down in a ditch.
Yeah.
And I've always thought, is a tornado coming or am I getting mugged? What's happening in this situation? Thank you, everybody. I think that was 3 minutes. I should probably drive it.
We are not timing you, Patti. We are not timing
I
you.
know.
But that was doing it. You know what's funny is I did that one time. I laid down in a ditch, and then the ditch ended up being gay too. So that was kind of funny. What happens? They all turn at some point. So my other thing, Patti, is that when you say the county would think, my thing is like if I'm in Chicago or a big city, I'm driving around and they're doing the traffic. How do I know where this is? There's a backstop on the I-42 farther north of us. I'm like, I know if I'm going there. I don't even know if I'm on that freaking road at this point. So, I know. So that's
Thank
great.
God for GPS now. Yep.
Thank God for GPS, and thank God for you, Patti. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. So wonderful. I can't believe it. It makes me want to smile. Oh, thanks. So, hey, guess what? Guess what we're going to do, Steve?
Are we going to do a musical guest that's not here?
yeah, we're going to.
Right.
Steve Goodie is going to do a song for us.
Well, we have two options. We have two options here because our friend Ross Childers is busy. He told us he might not be able to make it. And we're ready for that. But hey, our friend Bill Larkin is sitting right there, very comfortable. Would you like to play a song?
Well, right now I'm just so comfortable in my zero gravity chair, which
That is a neat chair.
it's really good for my spine. But I realize on Zoom, you have a very particular view of my body, and
I was gonna say.
either I'm sorry or you're welcome for this view.
No, you're the ditch I want to lay down in.
I'm putting that in my. Actually, I could move on.
No pressure. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but it would be awesome if you did.
Yeah.
Well,
Look at him
let's.
walking toward the guitar. I assume he's walking to the guitar. He's
That's what he's
walking.
walking.
He's on I-294. He thinks he's not
He's
sure.
walking to find his pants, is what he's walking to find. Find some
Don't
shorts.
tilt down anymore. Oh, look, it's a drummer. All right.
Yay.
I also remember my first YMCA camp, and I don't know if that's what turned me gay, but many of the counselors were dressed as cops and construction workers. I don't know what that means.
Yes, that's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bill Larkin and his crazy keyboard.
Yay!
Let's see. Please hold. It's one of those keyboards where if you don't press the pedal, it doesn't sustain. It's cheap. Okay, well, let's see here. Can you hear that?
Mhm.
Yes.
Sounds funny already.
Isn't it? I even played notes funny. Okay, here we go. It hurts when I stand. I can't see past my own hand. The hair has left my head and has moved to my back instead. I love being 45. I'm closer to death now than birth. I've been reading books on gardening and self-worth. My clothes no longer fit and I always have to shit. I love being 45. Take medications to excess, and when the TV's on, I find I've been enjoying CBS. I got laid 0 times when I was younger, I confess, but now take that number and somehow make it less. I think there's something in my stool, and when I wake each morning, I drown in my own drool. I asked my doctor, how could this be happening to me now? And he said, well, Mr. Larkin, I'm afraid that you're 45! My body used to be svelte, but now I've had to drill some extra holes into my belt. I cannot see my nuts, my penis hates my guts. 45! These aren't problems you can just ignore, especially because they weren't even problems when I was 44. And now my memory is fading, and what's more, I can't even remember if I've said something before. I think there's something in my stool, and when I wake each morning, I drown in my own drool, and I find the music of Pat Boone kind of cool. And now I'm extra tense, because Fox News is making sense. Please fucking kill me, I'm 45. There's no such thing as love, and there is no God above. How do I know? I'm 45! When you get this far, you find out just who you are. You have some money to spend. You love to nap. You love your friends, and you don't have to see a shrink. You're caring less what others think. I love being 45. I just crapped myself. I love being 45.
Bill Larkin,
Yeah, come on.
everybody. Man,
Incredible.
we don't need Rothschild. What were we thinking?
Ow! Steve, you know the actual punchline to that song, I think, because I discussed it at FumFest.
Yeah, but I wasn't listening.
Neither was I when I said it. I mean, there's a lot of sad parts in that song, but the saddest part is, and this is true, I wrote that song 7 years ago. I'm actually 52.
What's really sad is that I'm 55 and I'm finding that funny, and I shouldn't.
I am 56, be 57 in a month and a half, and I'm still not in charge. And the word for my prostate is enlarge.
Aha! Look at him rhyming. That was great.
Look at me learning how to rhyme. Well, thank you, Bill, for saving our lives. And that reminds me, as Steve takes everybody out, to say to everybody out in Facebook land and everywhere that what you need to do is go to virtualcomedyshow.com and donate to this show. It only takes $112,000 to make this show go every week, and I won't go on ships for a year. How's that sound? And we will pay people like Bill for being in the audience and then doing the show for us, which is amazing that we actually know such talented people that show up at this show. So thank you very much again, Bill. And thank you, Al, for doing a great job. And we will see Mr. Rothschild soon. Okay, so Steve, is there anything else we need to do, or we need to just bail on and move on with our lives?
I think we need a really bad joke to take us out.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. And then we'll do the Thursday song and see you all in a minute. The worst joke of the week, and man, is it a bad one. 9 attorneys, including Sidney Powell, have been fined and sanctioned more severely than any lawyers in history for their part in trying to undermine the people's faith in the presidential election by spreading baseless claims about fraud. They were also ordered to take 12 hours of legal education on election law. And if there is a God, these classes will be taught by the real Kraken, Barack Obama. Yes, damn it. Thank you. Here's the Thursday song.
I'm trying. It won't play.
Ah, well, who cares? It's that kind of show.
Merry Thursday. It's a special time of week when Thursday bells are pealing and life no longer seems so bleak. Let's open
And Bill Larkin.
presents and carve our Thursday moose and wait for Father Thursday to arrive upon his moose.
You know, we tried to incorporate all the wonderful family
BillLarkin.com.
traditions that people associate with Thursday.
Thursday comes but once a week, but do not shed a tear, 'cause there are more than 50 Thursdays packed in every year, and every single one of them is full of mirth and glee. So stuff your face and break some wind and join the revelry. Have a very merry Thursday. Put on your orange fez and decorate the Thursday tree with milk, bone, spam, and pez. Once you've curled your mustache and donned your Thursday clothes, I'll catch you 'neath the mistletoe and punch you in the nose. Merry Thursday, Merry Thursday, Merry